One of the great things that we learn as parents is that there are little simple things that we can do that generally have a positive effect on our kids. When you discover one of these, it's almost like you have a key that unlocks some better behavior or opens some new potential. That's what this channel is all about. If you are interested in the idea of little simple things that you can do that generally have a positive effect on raising kids, subscribe to my channel. I do a new video every week. And I pretty much guarantee that you're going to find something here that will be of use with your family. This video is entitled Recomplimenting Your Kids. Recomplimenting. Yeah, that's kind of a word I made up. It's complimenting again. And I'll develop why this has value. First off though, when I thought about this topic, I thought, well, this is something we did with our family. It was easy. But as I started to get into it, it seemed like a more and more difficult topic to explain. So I'm asking for a little bit of feedback from you. Give me a critique on this. Leave something in the comments below. Let me know whether or not this is clear or whether or not I need to continue working on it. So when we talk about recomplimenting, we're really talking about complimenting. So the whole general subject relates to praise. When we praise our kids, what are we really saying? We're really saying, this is good, do more of this. Do more of the good stuff. As parents, we want the good stuff. We want the good behavior, the good motivation, the good performance, the good achievement. So we're encouraging, just gently pushing our kids to do the good stuff. Now, there is a way to kind of kick up our compliments a little bit, and that's what this recomplimenting thing is all about. It's very, very simple, very easy thing to do, takes hardly any time at all. But we found it to be an effective way to kind of juice up a compliment and call special attention to great, outstanding behavior in our kids or a great achievement. But the first thing that we have to be able to do as parents is we have to be able to spot great behavior. We have to be able to notice it so that we can compliment it. And I'll get to this a little bit later, but that's an important and critical item. I'm going to bang on some parents a little bit later in this video, so stay tuned if you want to hear what I have to say about that topic. Now, this recomplimenting technique, this tip, is really for something that is exceptional. This is not for your standard good behavior or good achievement. This is something that we really want to underline. We really want to kick up a little bit in our kids' minds so that they know that they've done something that's really special. It could be something that relates to a couple siblings that don't usually get along that are playing well together. It could be something scholastically, a great achievement in school. It could be something about music or art or sports or just a great idea that's kind of special that shows character development in our kids. When things like this occur, we really want to see more of it. So if we can juice that compliment just a bit, we're going to have a more likely chance of seeing more of it, and that's what we want. Now, I'll just pause for a second. Since we are talking about praise, if you have discovered some praise that works in your family, leave a comment below. Share it with us. I'd be interested in reading it, and I'm sure that other parents would be interested in reading it as well. We all have these little tips and techniques that we learn in parenting, and they're valuable. So the technique here is to recompliment. So what does that mean? We give a compliment for something that's outstanding, and then later on, towards the evening or several hours later, when our kids do not expect it, we give that compliment again in sort of a shorter, more condensed version. So we're giving the compliment twice because we're really trying to emphasize with our kids, hey, you did something really that was special here. We want to see more of it. And an example is going to make this very, very clear and understandable. Say, for example, you have a son, and when he does English reports, kind of rushes through it a little bit, doesn't apply himself as much. There's typos and things like that, grammatical errors. And you know he has an English report due. You walk by his room at night and you realize he's been in there for kind of a prolonged length of time. You ask him what he's doing. He says, I'm working on my English report. You make a note because this is unusual. Wow, he's really spending a lot of time on this. You don't usually see that. Make a note of that. So English report gets done, goes away, comes back a couple days later, it's graded. Your son gets an A, and this is unique, this is unusual. So you start off by giving your son the normal compliments and praise. Wow, you did a great job on this. I see the extra effort that you put in the night before really paid off. Isn't this the highest grade you've gotten in English on a report this year? Keep up the good work. So we do that normal praise that we all do, and our child kind of basks in that, gets a smile like, wow, I'm really getting some kudos for doing some special work here. This A looks really great. And then later on that evening, when our child isn't expecting it, we give the compliment again, kind of in a shortened form. We might see them back in the room, they're just relaxing, fooling around a little bit. We go back to the doorway, just go tap, 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 and we say to them, hey, I just want to tell you again, that English report that you did, really exceptional. Keep up the good work. Or maybe we're tucking them in and we're leaving the room for the night, we're getting ready to turn off the light. As we get ready to leave, we say to them, hey, I just want to tell you one more time, that English report, that really was outstanding. I'm proud of you. Keep up the great work. Another example, another anecdote. You have two children. They quarrel a lot. They don't play together well. And one afternoon, and you'll see this as parents, one afternoon you notice that everything is peaceful. And we're loving this as parents, right? When this happens, wow, the house is quiet. There's no things being thrown around. Terrific. You give your kids a compliment on that, and then you re-compliment them later on the same thing. And your kids could be much younger, but it just emphasizes to them, you did good, do more like this. Now, as I said earlier, I'm going to bang on some parents. And you may have noticed this. I've noticed it many times. There are some families in which compliments and praise and kudos, they seem to be pretty scarce. And I'll give you an example. See if you've noticed anything like this. Say your daughter has a play date, and the parent drops off this kid, and nice kid, you've seen her many times. The kid's name is Molly. But she's very, very shy, very, very shy, comes in, doesn't even kind of meet your eye, and goes, on to see your daughter and have their play date. But this time, parent drops them off, Molly comes in, and she's very engaging, very confident, greets you, smiles. She just is a little bit like a different person. You're kind of impressed. You notice this as a parent, and then Molly goes off and starts her play date. When the parent comes a couple hours later, they come in and you make a comment. You want to give the parent a compliment about their daughter. So you say something like, wow, when your daughter came over today, she was so engaging with me. She talked, we had a conversation. She was just so confident. So you give this compliment and the parent kind of deflects it or even rejects the compliment that you're giving them about their child. Have you ever seen this? The parent says something like, well, she's never that way with us, or I wish we saw things like that in our house. So you get this kind of, rejection and we feel like, whoa, I probably shouldn't have said anything. My bad on that. I was just trying to give you a compliment about your child's behavior. So we do see things like this, and sometimes as parents, it just gets frustrating. It's hard for us to see the good behavior that our child has. But fundamentally, let's remember that we want to encourage good behavior with praising, with compliments, with re-complimenting, because we want more of it. We want more of the good stuff. We want our kids to do the good stuff. The praise is, you did good, do more like this. And that's what we want. Now, I do have one related topic, and I'll put a link up here on scholastic achievement and some rewards for that, which is related to praise. It's not a re-compliment, but it's another form of compliment that you might find to be interesting if you'd like to learn more about this. One more thing, if you try this with your family, and I recommend that you do, leave us a comment below and let us know how this worked. What kind of reaction you got? Was it something that was good? Give us a little bit of a critique. Let us learn from your experience. So I hope you found something useful in this video, and I thank you for watching. I will see you on the next one.